So yeah, half this video is going to be like the TikTok first installation, and we're back here doing the lights the other day. But we just recently got an editor, so hello editor. So just hired them just to do the YouTube stuff because we haven't had time really with work to do the editing of videos. I'm going to have weekly uploads, which is cool. So let's see how this video turns out. We've been working on a kitchen installation today, so I'm just going to show you what we've done. As you can see, I'm a bit dusty, so let's see what I've got up. As you can see, it's quite a big kitchen we're doing. So what's going to happen is there's going to be some tall units here, and then from here it's going to be worktop all the way around, and then a big island over here. So as you can see, using the drawings, we've got all tall units along here, and then a countertop all the way around, and then here's the island in the middle. So if you look there, that's what it's going to look like. A little breakfast bar, and then a couple of lights over the island there. As you can see, we've got a big bundle there to power up all your appliances, and a big bundle over there. The kitchen will get fitted and plonked on top of those cables, and then we'll come afterwards and pull them underneath and bring them into the back of the cupboards to power up all the appliances. We're also wired in for a TV socket there, so we couldn't get access above, so that's why the ceiling looks like a piece of cheese. So we've got 3 pendants here wired up down to the switch, and we've got an under cabinet light over there, and we've got some countertop lighting like you've seen in the picture. So I'll be back in a couple of weeks, so light for part 2, top electrician. So we're back at the kitchen installation today, so we'll show you what we're going to do. So we've got the downlights to wire, we've got the pendants to wire up, the switch, the TV socket, and then the appliances. So we've got the new downlights in now. We're going to leave the pendants till later so they don't get all dusty. Next we're going to power up the appliances. That socket in. I'm just going to pull all the bundles out. There's 2 sockets, ovens, hob and extractor fan. I'm just going to get these boxes fixed up underneath this shelf and then get holes through to get the cables through. So Hayden's finished that now. So you got the 2 ovens at the top, you got the hob, and then you got the 2 sockets for the extractor, fridge and freezer. We've got the TV socket wire, a couple of room sockets. So that's as far as we're going to get today, so follow for part 3, top electrician. This is the kitchen working in today then. You've probably seen a few on TikTok, but this is the second fix of it. There's Hayden. So we've got a few pendants to put up here. We've done the lights already, as you saw on TikTok. We've got a TV bracket tank ready for painting. We've got 4-gang light switch to wire. We've also got some under counter lights. So under the actual worktop, we've got LED strip going along there, LED strip going right around the room there. And then we've got some under cabinet lights. It's like an under cabinet strip that's going to fit in that channel there, so it's going to look really good. We've got the appliances to power up. So there's 2 there, hob to power up, and that's about it. And then let's get these lights up. One pendant up, that's looking pretty sick. So what I'm going to do for the second pendant, I'm going to make a little video on how to hang a pendant. So we've just done this little tutorial video. So they're nicely hung up, that second one's up. So we're just going to get a little time lapse of this end one now, and then these pendants will be wired. Just 3 pendants up, so they're looking pretty sick. So what we're going to do is get the laser level out next and just check the height. So Hayden's just giving this a little laser level. So we use this to actually get the pendants perfectly in line. So all you do is just get it up slightly underneath. You can measure with your fingers just like this, and you can get the same distance all the way around. So you've got the same gap on all 3. It's perfectly level. Cheers Hayden. Just going to get the TV mounted now. So here's the bracket. Basically, you got this part which just fits on to those screws there. You got this part which fits on to those screws there, and then you've got just a bar that just fixes onto the wall, and then they hook onto it. These have to go the right way around, if you can see it. If you look here, it needs to go that way around for that one. Same again, this way around for that one. and then when you actually hang your TV up, that will clip on to that bracket. This bottom one will just nicely come down and clip in. And if you ever want to pull it off again, there's a little drawstring, you just reach up and pull that down. That'll loosen it off, and then you can actually pull your TV away and off. So just pull them 2 screws out and then get him through one of these holes. So because of the type of the TV, if we mount this up here, that's going to stick out your top of your TV, you're going to see it. So what we're going to have to do is actually bring this onto this back plate. Hopefully that screw's long enough there to actually fix to the TV again. So the screws that come with it are pretty short. So you get a massive pack of screws. So we're just going to find the right thread size. I think it's this B6, so I'll try that first. So yeah, that B6 was perfect. So it's nice and long. And then we'll just put this little washer just so the bracket sat on the actual fixing rather than landing on this part of the TV. So the wall's here, and then clip in like so. If you want to release it, just pull both tabs, and then that releases it. So what we're going to do now is get a measurement from the top of the TV to the top of the bracket. So yeah, the distance was 190, so the top of the TV was here, and that's 190, that's going to be the top of the bracket. I'm just going to measure the wall. So that's 62 this side, 62 this side, that there and there. So we've got the middle of the wall, so it's going to get me level out. So we've got a level line, we've got the top of the bracket from the top of the TV. So what we're going to do, I've done a little mark where the middle of the bracket is. So just hold that up, get your level out, and then we're just going to mark out these fixing holes like this. So obviously the more fixings you've got, the more solid your TV is. If you can find wood, that's the goal. And there should be a wooden upright in this wall. We'll try and find that, get fixing in there, and all the rest will just be plasterboard fixings. So we've got wood there. So those 2 fixings here will be wood, and then what we're going to do, all the rest will just be plasterboard fixings, so we'll just quickly do that. Just bracket up, so that's perfectly in the middle of the wall, and it should be at the perfect height, so the TV will actually sit just about here. That's the TV up, nice and centred, looking great. So yeah, the guy can sit here at his breakfast bar, having his brekkie, watching his TV. So next we're just going to get this LED strip stuck around the worktops. So there's a bit going there and a bit going all the way around here up to the ovens. Give it a good wipe just to get all dust off, otherwise it'll stop it sticking. So all that black. Just wait for it to dry and then we can start. So the way we're going to do this, so we basically chop it to length. So can't do this with one hand, but what I'll do is that strip will end up going to here, and then this little tail here will connect on some alarm cable, which is here. And we'll just double up the pairs just so it goes over 2 cores, and we'll run that alarm cable through this little hole I made before the top went on, and that'll kind of clip along the top of there. We can pull this out, you see this fine fridge. We'll drop down the back, and then we'll make a little connection to one of these, which will be for the lights. So basically connect onto this cable here, so that'll wire into a driver. There's a main side and a low voltage side. So we're going to wire that cable into there, live and neutral, and then we'll wire an alarm cable into there for pos and neg. So whilst the fridge is out, Hayden's going to be around here, putting in a socket in this side. So we've got like a little island socket to go here. So all we'll do is just chop him out using a multi-tool, get a metal box in, and then get the cables from underneath into a socket up here. Right, so we're just going to get this box fixed, so we've just drawn around it, and we're just going to cut it out now, so we'll get the multi-tool, zip round it, and then get this fixed through the sides. I've got that fixed, that's all solid now. We've got his grommets in. So we've got his cables through, so we'll just get this wired up now. perfectly been put in now. That looks sick under there. It's a nice little island socket. The customer can sit here, work off the laptop, or if they're cooking on here, they can plug a lead in, little blender on here, whatever. It's going to look sick. So next we're just going to power up the extractor fan. So if you look under here, there's a nice built-in extractor fan. So the cable for it basically just tucks up the back of this unit. We're going to just connect the cable we've brought up for the extractor fan here. So this is like a little twin and earth, you can see. So that's going to connect onto the actual extractor fan there. And then in the bottom of this cupboard, it'll basically plug in. So we'll put a plug top on that, plug it in, turn it on. So it's got its isolation elsewhere. So that's all wired up now. So next we've just got the undercabs. They're going to wire into this little JCC driver. So that guy's just going to wire in, and we're going to just push him right to the back so you don't see him. So that's just going to sit up there like that. And then under here is where all the magic's going to happen. So we've got some like LED profile. So that's just going to sit in there. So we've got a strip to go in there. I've got a strip to put in there and a strip to put in there. So for this side we'll have to drill like through here and then pop out in this section. It's just the way the company's designed it. And then at the end we're just going to have to drill up on an angle. And there's a little hole, a little slot up the side of here. So you've got to send your wire up here along and get that into your driver. And then this side, what we'll have to do to get the cable in, so we'll have to drill through here into the oven housing, and then the back of this oven section basically, you'll have to come up and then along and then in here. So it shouldn't be too bad really. So here's the LED profile that the kitchen company's delivered. You cut that to length basically, and that just slots in those sections there. And then there's a diffuser, so this opaque plastic, basically the LED just shines through that. And then you get a nice wash of light coming down from here, so it should look really nice. So this is the LED strip we're using. So we're basically just gonna stick that into your profile, get the lid onto that profile, and then we're just gonna solder the alarm cable onto these 2 points here. And then that's where the alarm cable will come through on top of the units, like so. Let's get these drivers wired up on the main side. So that's that off, so that just falls off like that. And now we're just going to wire this side in. Because it's double insulated this, that's that square. See that square within a square? That means double insulated, so you don't need the earth. So all we need to do is just chop maybe one finger's width like that. Just strip those. Wants to be about 5mm, something like that. And just bang them in like that. Top cameraman Aidan, well done. Get him tightened up. There we go. And then we'll get this lid back on. So nice and tight in there, live. So L for brown, N for blue, neutral. Take that on, get him tightened up. So what this does, this cable here goes back to the switch. Yeah, so that switch over there just goes over there. So over there you've got a neutral and you've got a permanent live, which you can run via a switch. So we'll show you how to wind it up later. And that goes back to there, labelled up on the cab. So this isn't live at the moment, all this is dead. You just mould it in. Got your cable, tucked out back here. I'll just left a little 2-finger gap for your alarm cable for wiring. That's ideal, that just sitting there. We'll bring it forward again. So when it comes to actually wiring the alarm cable in, we'll wire it here and then tuck him back down there. So we've actually got these ovens to take it out and wire up anyway. So, and we also need the ovens out to get this cable through, like we mentioned earlier. So ovens are out, ready for wiring up, and we're ready to drill through the side there. From that channel. I'll just cut one of the profiles to length. That fits in there, and that fits in there, so that's an absolute perfect cut. You have to be basically to the mill, otherwise you'll see a gap one end, it'll look a bit daft. So we've got this hole through nicely. However, we're just going to fit the profile, and it's just out by maybe about 1mm or 2mm, so it won't actually fit up. I'm going to have to get the multi-tool now and just take 2mm off this without touching these sides, otherwise you'll see that afterwards. So whilst I'm doing that, Hayden's doing some outside lights. So this side of the garage is going to be an outside light here, like an up-down light, and an up-down light here. So he's just going to basically just drill through, wire from one to the other, and then do a little connection box, and then wire into the little RCD fuse board in there. So I've finally got the profile in, so that's looking nice and slick in there. And then if you look over this side, we've got the cable through, so you have to notch out the back to actually get him in. But you won't see any of that once the fuse is on. So all I'm going to do is solder this onto the LED strip. So we'll cut that to length, get this soldered on, and then we can stick it up, get your profile lid on, and then all that excess cable I'll just nip up the back and then wire into the driver, which will wire into there basically. That side's nicely in, so we'll just crack on with the other side now. That's those profiles in, LED strip in. That was a bit of a nightmare trying to get this one in, because what we had to do, we get the cable through the end, down into this channel, obviously wire into that end, and then we had to put a little bridge piece over to here, which then allowed us to get access to this section. And that's that one from earlier, so looking pretty sweet. So we'll get them all off one of the switches later, we'll get that switch wired up. Right, so we've finished the LED strip up there, so what I've got to do is just get the LED strip all the way around there, and then we've got a little driver here that we're going to connect those in. So we've already stripped it, so that's ready for the 24 volt pos and neg. And we've got the ovens back in, so they're all in, and then Hayden's just powering them up now. So that's the under-counter lights on, they're looking pretty cool. So you get a nice glow around there. You get a nice glow down here as well. So I'll quickly show you Hayden's lights that I did earlier. That's one, it's got a little sensor on it. And two. So they're looking really good. It's hard to tell in this light, but nice and bright. Perfect. So we've finally got everything done, so we've got those pendants in now. They're looking really nice. Those under-counter lights, they're looking really nice. Sockets you saw from earlier, massive induction knob, that's looking really good. Got the under-counter lights, so they shine into the drawers beautifully, so you can see everything in there. Again, we've got some on this side as well. Little wine fridge. Again, you can see nicely into cupboards. That's looking really nice. Then you've got your pendants up there. It just makes it, those pendants look sick on that. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we're next uploading. As always, have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.